I'd like to welcome up Louise and Jamin. They're from the university who have worked tirelessly on a great platform that you might have heard of, CarerWell. And we also will be getting some feedback from you about just early talks for an online support group. So I'll hand it over to them just for a quick chat before we break for lunch.
Not sure how we get the slides up in the first instance. Oh, sorry, go back. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name's Associate Professor Louise Thorrnton. I'm here with my colleague, Dr. Jamin Day. We're here from, thank you. We're here from the Mental Health Innovation Team at the University of Newcastle. But we're actually fortunate enough to share an office space with the fabulous Mark Hughes Foundation team over at the Hunter Medical Research Institute building. So we get to see their lovely faces every day, which is a privilege for sure. And so really broadly, our team aims to make good mental health and mental fitness accessible to everyone by trying to innovate boldly, making sure we translate mental health research into action. And we really aim to ensure, like our mission is to ensure that there's, anyone can access effective, evidence-based mental health solutions that are able to empower people with practical skills they can use anytime, anywhere. And so this is our team. We're a small but passionate team of researchers led by myself, Jamin, Dr. Jane Rich, and we're joined by Danielle Teenan, Abby Partridge, Tegan O'Byrne, and Caitlin Blackstone. And maybe just a little bit about why we do what we do. So our work focuses on addressing mental health and mental well-being for all Australians. And that's because we know every year over almost 3.5 million Australian adults actually see a health professional for their mental health. But of course, that's actually only a really small proportion of people who actually experience problems with their mental health, symptoms like low mood, anxiety. And we know that while over sort of 40% of Australians experience a mental disorder sometime during their lifetime, again, many more people will experience sort of dips in their mental health like depression and anxiety throughout their life. So experiencing poor mental health is incredibly common, certainly far more the rule rather than the exception to the rule. Unfortunately, though, more than half of people who experience a mental health problem actually don't seek treatment and don't seek help to improve their mental health problem, with many individuals waiting an average of up to 12 years before seeking that help. And then, as many of you may know, unfortunately, then when people do seek help for their mental health or substance use problems, we know that wait lists to access mental health services can be really quite long and significant. And, at our team, we just think that's simply not good enough, and that it is possible for everyone to access support for their mental health needs at a time and place when they want to. And we think that digital health approaches have a real potential to respond. Hooray! So, by way of a little bit of background of some of the programs we do. So our team has spent a lot of time, we have a lot of experience developing and testing a huge range of online treatment programs for various mental health and substance use concerns. And here are just a couple of our programs. I apologise for the small text, but you can learn more about these programs and many more if you come and visit us at our table over there. We've got some flyers and QR codes and you can take some information away. And so all of our treatment programs have been co-designed and designed together with experts as well as people who are experiencing these issues. They're all 100% free to access. They're based on the best available literature and evidence in this space. They're also available to access totally independently. So you don't need a referral from a specialist to access these programs. You can just go online and you can access them independently on your mobile phone, on your computer, at any time of the day or night when it might be helpful to you. And this is the part of the talk where I say, please feel free to take your phones out or anything like that, because most of these programs are available at our website, our digital hub, as we call it, called eclipse.org.au. So at Eclipse, you can access most of our programs, and you can see we have programs that have been designed to help support people experiencing, who might want to reduce their use of alcohol, who are experiencing symptoms of depression or anxiety or other important health behaviours like smoking, who want to improve their physical activity, improve their diet, improve their sleep. As well as we have a number of programs that are to support friends and family who may be supporting people who are experiencing problems with substance use, mental health, domestic violence, and most relevant for today, we have a program to support the friends and family of people who are experiencing, dealing with brain cancer. And at that point, I will hand over to Jamin.
Thanks, Louise. Hi, I'm Jamin. I'm a psychologist and a researcher working with Louise in the team. And today I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about our program CarerWell. So I guess I'm speaking primarily to the carers in the room today, and I just wanted to acknowledge your incredibly important role in supporting your loved one that might be on their cancer journey. And just how important that is, and the need, I guess, to support you as well in what you're doing. And that's really the aim behind CarerWell. So this is a program that was developed alongside people in the brain cancer community. It's a Mark Hughes Foundation initiative, and it's a fantastic program. And I guess the reason it exists is really because of that incredibly important role that you have as a carer. And in terms of supporting the person that you love, but also there's not a lot of support available for carers sometimes in terms of preparing you for what you're going to face in that role, how you can look after yourself as well during that time. And we know that when people aren't supported well as a carer, that there are challenges in terms of their own mental health too, and their own well-being, and that can be linked with experiencing your own symptoms of low mood, anxiety, depression, and things like that. And so CarerWell really exists to support you in that journey as well. If you go to CarerWell, and I'll have the link up here on the next slide if you haven't seen it before. It's been around for a few years. Our team's in the process of doing a bit of an update at the moment. These programs do need to be kind of continually updated, so that's what we're working on. And there's resources and support directories on the website. Sometimes some of those get a little bit out of date, so we're kind of working through making sure all of that information is relevant and timely for you. But there's some really great resources there for just some coping supports, some tips and strategies that you can use to look after yourself as a carer. You can hear other people's stories as well about their experience being a carer. And being part of the CarerWell program, you can have an opportunity to contribute back to the research too around how we can best support people who are in the caring role. Here's the link. If you have not tried or had a look at CarerWell before, you could go to carerwell.com.au. It's a free resource, like Lou was saying. It's available 24/7, and you can just sign up and go through that. There's mobile apps as well. There's some QR codes you can scan, or you can come and see us over at the table later if you would like us to point you in the right direction for accessing those. But I guess another initiative that we're working on at the moment is how we can best support carers in terms of providing opportunities for peer support as well. And this is, I guess, where you come in, is to have your say around how we can actually do that in the best way. We have a survey that we've put together. It only takes about 5 minutes to complete. But what we're interested in finding out from you is if there were some peer support options available in an online context, what might that look like? How could we do that in a way that would meet your needs, something that you would be most interested in accessing or using. I'm in the way, sorry. I'll move out of the way. We'll also have this code you can scan over at the desk afterwards, so you can come and find us if you can't. But I'll just move out of the way so you can access that. But this would be a great opportunity for you to kind of just have your say around how we can support you in the best way possible through that. That's about all I have to say for today, so I'm just going to duck out of the way.
And I think we've got a little bit of time. So please feel free, grab out your phones, use the QR code to sort of scan that and complete the little survey. But as we've got a little bit of time, we may as well access the Brains Trust in this room, and that, and I'd love to hear any initial thoughts, enthusiasm, concerns regarding this idea of creating some sort of online community, particularly for carers, friends, and families. And what does this sound like a good idea? What kind of things would you like to see if we were creating a group for all of you to connect?
Does anyone have any ideas if they want, a separate app or a Facebook page? Any ideas of how you want to possibly connect with one another in a safe space?
I think that it would be beneficial to have an online page that people can join if they wanted to as a group. Just discuss our requirements.
Yep.
Anyone else have any thoughts as to how they might want that to look? Oh, yeah.
Just to give, I guess, you guys your background, it might be useful, and I think might help reassure some of the people in the audience. So, when I worked with my cabinet for a experience, extended beyond a clinical psychologist and specialist in psycho-oncology. And a couple of years ago, last year, there was a lot of concern in the room around the fact that CarerWell wasn't being updated, and the concern was around the sustainability of the project. So we had a bit of a conversation about the difficulty when research funding runs out, how we can actually sustain these connections. So this is a really meaningful opportunity to provide online connection for people. Do you want to just give everybody a feel for how you intend to sustain that after the project ends?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really great point. Digital health programs change and move on. And so this is what we're exploring. And one of the questions in the survey is asking this idea of perhaps is a more sustainable model for connecting people in an online community like this using existing infrastructure like potentially Facebook, for example, and having, a online community based around hosted within a private Facebook group, for example, would get around a lot of those issues around it being on a separate site. Of course, that comes with pros and cons as well. So that's one of the things that we're looking at, and part of the work that, we're thinking about doing here is our team has a lot of experience already sort of pulling together these types of online communities where people with mental health problems or substance use problems or caring for people can come together and share. And so the idea is we may be developing some, guidelines and supports that the Mark Hughes Foundation team can then instigate, sort of independently with, without our team sort of there. So that all of those sort of things to help with sustainability of any type of online group that might be there, that it could be sort of something that's more self-sustaining than a sort of standalone program. And certainly that would be one of the questions. And maybe we can get a bit of audience participation just by a show of hands. Who in the room has a Facebook account? Got Facebook. So maybe what's that, about 60%? 70%, something? 70, yeah. Super scientific, but thank you. That's really helpful. I'd love to hear any more thoughts. What might be some of the reasons that if there was an online community, what might be some of the reasons that you would like to engage and connect with other people? Is it for connections? I'll thank you over here. Sharing stories.
I'm not mentioned, but I used to work for MHF in Sydney, and the Facebook group is a really good connection area for people who feel isolated and that they can't really communicate with people who don't understand them as much as people who have a similar journey can understand them.
Yeah.
And it was found that a lot of people in those situations feel more that their Facebook friends are their true friends than people in the general public.
Yeah,
So
that shared
that's why
experience.
it's very useful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Just to add to that, I guess the other question that we've been kind of toying with is, would there be concerns from people around using something like Facebook around, say, privacy, you know, connecting with people that you know versus kind of a completely anonymous platform. So that could also be something that's worth discussion too, if you have any thoughts on that.
That's all right, but please come and chat to us over here at the desk. We've got a few flyers around the CarerWell program, which, as we said, is, the process of being updated, and we've also got information about a number of our different other programs. There we've got programs related to managing diabetes for younger people, managing health behaviours, mental health problems, and all of this. So please come and say hello and see what might be helpful for you. Thank you so much.